Before we begin this morning prayer, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like this video. I'm coming to you before the rush starts, before the kettle boils, before the inbox fills, before the street noise reaches the window, before I scroll or speak or check a clock. Because my heart is already moving faster than it should. I'm not even out of bed, and it's racing. My chest is tight with the weight of what's not yet begun. My mind is weaving through problems I haven't been asked to solve yet. I don't want to live a whole day before the sun even rises. So I'm bringing myself here, still in the soft light, still wrapped in sleep and silence. And I'm asking for peace, not for every hour that will follow, just for now, just for this beginning, just for this breath. You don't need a perfect offering from me this morning. You've never asked for that. What you long for is honesty, and here it is. I feel like I'm bracing for something, and I don't know what. I feel like the day is a wave I'm not ready to stand under. I feel like I woke up late to a race I never signed up for, and all I want is to not feel like this. All I want is to be able to breathe without pretending. You don't have to take all the problems away. Just meet me in this moment. Meet me where the tension starts, before it grows into panic, before it takes over the way I see the world. Sit with me in the not yet. Settle beside me, like a steady hand on a shaking shoulder. I need you not to fix everything, but to stay with me before anything even happens. I used to think peace came from control. If I could organize every hour, prepare for every outcome, anticipate every disappointment, then I could finally relax. But it's not true, and I'm not chasing that lie this morning, because it doesn't work. Control isn't peace, it's pressure. It's the illusion of safety built on fear. But you, God, you are peace, not a strategy, not a system, a presence, an open space inside my chest where I don't have to perform. A deep breath I didn't think I could take. A stillness I can't manufacture on my own. You don't come rushing in with solutions. You come gently, quietly, like light through the curtains. And everything in me softens just a little when I remember you're near. Let this morning not begin with a checklist, but with trust. Let my first move not be control, but connection. I don't want to grip the day with white-knuckled pressure. I want to hold it loosely, to meet it open-handed, open-hearted, with the confidence of someone who knows they're not facing it alone. So show me how to slow down enough to feel that you're already here. Before I carry anything, let me be carried. Before I speak a word, let me listen for yours. Before I write the narrative of the day ahead, what will go wrong, who will disappoint me, where I'll fall short, rooted in the quiet of my soul, remind me I'm not behind, I'm not too late, I'm not out of place, I'm not alone. And if I begin to spiral again, if the noise creeps in through the cracks, if the weight returns, if I feel that tightening my chest, bring me back here, to this breath, to this pause, to this beginning. Not because the world has slowed down, but because I have. Because I've anchored myself in something deeper than a to-do list, or a deadline, or a plan. I've anchored myself in you, and even if everything else remains uncertain, this is not I am held. I am seen. I am not waking into chaos. I'm waking into presence, into love, into peace that doesn't make sense, but doesn't need to, because it's real, because it's you. So I sit here, still, and let you be my starting place. I sit here, quiet, and let you whisper before the noise. I sit here, breathing, and it's enough. I don't need to earn this peace. I don't need to understand it. I don't even need to feel it perfectly. I just need to remember that you are the source of it, and you're not far. You're not waiting for me to get it together. You're already beside me, already within, already loving me into stillness. So I let my shoulders drop. I unclench my jaw. I exhale the worry I've been holding since before I opened my eyes. And I say yes to this moment. God, the room is beginning to glow with a faint blue light, and somewhere outside a bird is trying its first note, and I am here again with my heart trying to race ahead of the day. Yesterday's thoughts didn't finish when I slept. They only went quiet for a while, and now they're back like guests knocking at the door before sunrise. I want to let them stay outside a little longer, at least until I've found my footing inside your presence. I know the day will ask me to move, to decide, to speak, to act, but right now it's just me and you and this small, tender silence. I don't want to waste it by rehearsing fears. I want to soak in it. I want to fill my lungs with this stillness until it begins to change me from the inside out. I can feel how my body tells the story of what my mind believes. Shoulders high, breath shallow, fists closing, without thinking. When I slow down enough to notice, I see how much of my life is bracing for bad news, bracing for disappointment, bracing for criticism. This is not the life you dreamed for me, yet it's the posture I fall into. And here in the thin light of morning, I'm letting you teach me something different. That bracing is not strength, that holding my breath doesn't protect me, that there's another way to be open, soft, steady, rooted like a tree in early morning mist, not straining to grow, just standing in the soil, drinking what it needs from the unseen source beneath. Teach me to stand like that, God, not rigid, not fragile, but grounded in you. Teach my nervous system what my soul already knows. You are here, and that changes everything. I confess that part of me still hopes for a magic switch, a button to press that turns anxiety into instant calm. But you rarely work that way. You give something deeper presence, not performance, patience, not panic. You don't hand me a technique, you hand me yourself. And in the slowness of this early hour, I start to sense it. The difference between self-made calm and the peace that flows from your spirit. Self-made calm is thin ice. One loud sound, one sharp word, one antic problem, and it cracks. But your peace is a river beneath the ice, steady and moving, even when the surface trembles. Let me sink into that river now. Let me feel its current under my ribs, carrying the weight of my day before I even lift it. I think of all the mornings I've missed this, rushing from bed straight into noise, scrolling headlines, checking messages, drinking caffeine like it's courage. And every time I've wondered why my soul still felt empty, why my body still felt tense. I don't want to keep doing that. I want to learn to begin differently, to begin with a slow inhale of grace instead of a gulp of fear, to begin with your name on my lips instead of a list of tasks, to begin by remembering that I'm not a machine built to produce, but a soul built to receive. And even if I forget again later today, even if I slip back into rushing, at least for these minutes, I can anchor myself in truth. I am seen. I am loved. I am not behind. I am not too much. I am not alone. So I lift my eyes, even if they're still heavy with sleep, and I look at the quiet space around me as a cathedral without walls. The rising light is stained glass. The birds are the choir. The breath in my lungs is the incense rising. I don't need to go somewhere else to find you. You're here. You're always here. And in this ordinary room, on this ordinary morning, something holy is happening. I'm slowing down. I'm coming back to myself. I'm finding you in the space between my thoughts. And for a moment, the weight in my chest loosens. The noise in my head softens, and there's enough room inside me for hope. Stay close, God, as I cross from this quiet into the motion of the day. Let the peace I've tasted here linger like a scent on my clothes. Let it be the undercurrent beneath every word I speak, every task I touch, every person I meet. Not a mask to hide behind, but a grounding that frees me to be present. If the world grows loud, whisper me back to this stillness. If my heart starts to race, slow it with your hand. If I forget, remind me, not with shame, but with gentle nudges, like a friend catching my eye across a crowded room. I'm not asking you to remove the day's challenges. I'm asking you to hold me steady within them, to make this small beginning a seed that grows into a quiet strength I carry in my chest, to help me walk into the noise without becoming noise, to be peace before the day begins, and peace within it, and peace even after it ends. That is my prayer, God, in this blue light moment before the first cup of coffee, before the first word to another soul, be my peace. Teach me to start here. Teach me to return here. Teach me to live here. And as I sit a little longer, I don't rush to close this prayer. I let the silence be the last word. I let my breathing be my amen. I let your presence fill the space between one heartbeat and the next. God, the day is waiting at the edge of my room like an uninvited guest. I know I'll have to greet, but not yet. Not before I sit here a little longer in the softness you offer. Not before I return to the quiet that steadies me, the quiet that is not absence, but fullness, not emptiness, but presence. And maybe I'm just learning this now, that peace isn't in the answers I keep begging for, or in the control I keep losing, but in the willingness to let you into the in-between, the before, the not yet, the tiny space between sleep and an alarm, between stretch and step, between breath and speech. That space is sacred, and I've missed it so many times. But not this morning, not now. I'm here. I'm listening. I don't have a clean mind this morning. I didn't wake up in clarity. I woke up in the middle of a dozen mental tabs left open. Worries I can't close. Decisions that feel too heavy for this hour. Conversations that haven't happened yet, and some that shouldn't have. And still, here you are, not asking for my focus, but offering yours. You are not distracted. You are not in a hurry. You are not looking past me to what I will do today. You are looking at me, now, just as I am, and somehow that gaze silences the static. It doesn't erase the problems. It just makes them small, next to the size of your nearness. That's what I need this morning. Not solutions, not productivity, just perspective. Just the reminder that you are bigger than what I fear, steadier than what I face, more constant than what I can control. There is something healing about starting slow. Something that reminds me I'm not a project to be managed or a fire to be put out. I am a soul to be held. And you do that with the gentleness of someone who has all the time in the world. You never wake me with panic. You never greet me with demands. You meet me with mercy. You clothe the morning in it, wrap the sunrise in it, fill the space between my first blink and my first thought with it. Mercy like dew on the grass. Quiet and sure, unnoticed by many. But I see it this morning. I feel it gathering at the edges of my tiredness, softening the day before it hardens around me, and I choose to receive it. I don't explain why I need it. I just open my hands, and there it is. I've come to realize that peace is not the absence of movement, but the presence of alignment. When my insides match your heartbeat, when my breath echoes your nearness, when my priorities bow to your voice instead of the world's volume, and even though the day will pull at me in all directions, I ask that you keep anchoring me back to this place, this breath, this moment, this choice to stay rooted instead of reactive, to act from stillness instead of rushing from fear, to move because I am grounded, not because I'm being pushed. I don't want to live my day like a pinball in someone else's game. I want to live it like someone who knows where her center is and who it is. Let my first footsteps today be formed not by urgency, but by grace. Let me walk into my kitchen with awareness, not anxiety. Let me sip my coffee like a prayer. Let me speak to the first person I meet, not from habit, but from presence. Let me listen to my own heart as if you live there, because you do. Remind me that it's okay if I'm slow to start. That slow is not failure. That stillness is not weakness. That peace is not a luxury for later, but a practice for now. Give me the strength to resist the false urgency that says I need to prove myself by 9 a.m. I don't. I just need to live in truth. And the truth is I am already yours. Before I do anything, before I get anything right, before I earn a thing, I belong. You never asked me to be efficient with my soul. You only asked me to be open. So here I am again. Not fixed, not polished, not prepared, just open. Let me live the next few minutes from that posture. Let me make decisions not from fear of what might happen, but from trust in what already is. Let me greet the world, not as an adversary, but as a field where I can walk with you. Let me stop looking at the morning as something I must conquer, and instead receive it like a gift. You are unfolding one moment at a time. The gift is not the absence of struggle. The gift is your presence within it. The peace is not in what happens around me, but in what rises within me, because you are here. And if today turns out differently than I hoped, if the peace I feel now seems to vanish in an hour or two, remind me I can always return. There is no shame in needing to begin again. I can return to this breath, this quiet, this grounding. I can pause in a bathroom stall, at a stoplight, in the hallway, in the middle of a meeting, and say, God, be my peace again. And you will, because you don't abandon those who forget. You stay near to those who remember late. You never make me pay for needing you again, so I don't have to fear the unraveling. I just need to know the way back, and you are the way. This morning, I let that be enough. I let peace be enough. I let you be enough. I rise slowly, not because I'm afraid of the day, but because I'm no longer afraid of myself in it. I'm no longer rushing to be someone I'm not. I'm simply choosing to be fully here, fully loved, fully yours, and fully present for whatever comes next. God, the sky outside my window is no longer blue-gray. It's beginning to bloom with color, and with it my thoughts start to stir again. This is always the moment when the world begins to intrude. The sounds of the street, the first messages, the scent of coffee brewing. It's so easy for my soul to scatter before the day even properly starts. So I'm here again, sitting inside the small space you and I have carved out before the noise, and I'm asking you to help me keep it, to let what I've found in these minutes seep into my bones, not just linger on the surface, to let it become a posture, not just a pause. I know from experience how quickly I can lose it. One notification, one critical word, one memory of something unfinished, and my chest tightens, my breathing shortens, my mind begins to sprint. And yet I also know that I don't have to live at the mercy of that spiral. I can return to you. I can return to this breath. I can begin again at any point. Peace is not a mood I must maintain. It is a place I can always come home to. You are that place. Even when the hallway is crowded, even when the phone keeps ringing, even when the news is heavy, you are still here, still steady, still quietly whispering a different rhythm beneath the rush. Teach me to hear that rhythm as I move, to feel it under my skin like a pulse that doesn't change no matter how loud the world becomes. Teach me to walk at the pace of your peace, even if everything around me seems to demand hurry. Teach me to speak from it, decide from it, respond from it. Because if I only find you in the quiet but lose you in the movement, then I've only tasted a fragment of what you offer. I don't want just a fragment. I want a life that flows from this beginning. I want a day shaped by the stillness I've found here. So as I prepare to stand, to open the door, to enter into whatever waits for me, I ask you to weave this quiet into my very body, into my breath, my tone of voice, the way I meet someone's eyes. Let my peace not be a thin surface, but a deep current. Let it be the undersong of my thoughts. Let it be the anchor of my nervous system. Let it be the gift I offer to those who cross my path, not because I've mastered serenity, but because I've been met by you. And if I falter, as I will, give me the courage to be gentle with myself, to pause instead of scold, to breathe instead of berate, to remember instead of despair. You are not telling my failures to stay calm. You are not impatient with my humanity. You are patient enough for both of us. You hold the day even when I can't. You hold me even when I shake. You hold peace for me until I'm ready to receive it again. And that knowledge alone loosens something inside me right now. I'm beginning to see that this is what it means for you to be my peace before the day begins. Not a one-time transaction, but a steady presence I can lean into over and over. Not a fortress I visit, but a home I live in. Not an escape from reality, but a way to walk through it unafraid. And as the light grows brighter, as the hum of the world grows louder, as I stand up from this spot, I carry that image with me like a secret, a room inside my heart where you are already waiting, where the air is still, where my soul can breathe. No one can take that room from me. No circumstance can lock me out, because it's you. It's always you. So I rise slowly, not bracing for impact, but opening for presence. I rise as someone who has been reminded of the truth that peace is possible right here, right now, not because everything is perfect, but because you are. And with that, I step into the day, not to conquer it, but to walk through it as a loved child. Good. The light is fully awake now, and so am I. Yet I still feel that tremor under my skin that wants to rush ahead. I'm sitting here a little longer because I know how easily the weight can return. I know how quickly a small disruption can knock me off balance. And I also know that you never run out of welcome. You don't measure my mornings by how composed I am. You meet me as often as I return. So here I am again, even with the day already pressing at the edges, coming back to the stillness, coming back to you. Let this be more than a ritual. Let it be a deepening. Each time I come, let my roots go a little further down into your steadiness, until peace is not a rare feeling, but my natural state because of you. I've lived too many mornings in fear of the clock. I've allowed the first email to decide my mood. I've let the thought of what could go wrong rob me of what is right in front of me. But this morning, I can taste another way. It's fragile, like dew, but it's real. It's the way of receiving instead of bracing, of beginning inside your presence instead of outside of it. It's the way of slow breath and open hands. It's the way of trust. And even if I walk into a room later today that feels cold or hostile, even if the faces I meet don't reflect kindness back, I can carry this beginning inside me, like a candle cupped from the wind, like a quiet song beneath the noise, because it's not something I built, it's something I've been given. Help me to remember that I am allowed to pause, even in the middle of a crowded schedule, even between phone calls, even in a bathroom stall. I am allowed to stop and return to the peace I met before sunrise. You are not a faraway shrine I have to travel to. You are here. You are the breath in my lungs. You are the grounding under my feet. You are the steadying voice inside my heart. Let that reality be my refuge when the pace of the world tries to pull me back into panic. Let it be my anchor when I'm tempted to overreact. Let it be my guide when I don't know what to say. And because you are my peace, teach me to be a quiet space for others. Teach me to walk into a meeting, a kitchen, a conversation carrying the scent of stillness instead of stress. Teach me to let my eyes and tone and words become an echo of what I've received here. Not because I've mastered serenity, but because I've been touched by yours. Make my presence today a soft landing place for someone else who is bracing, for someone else who woke up already anxious. Let the peace you've given me ripple outward like rings on water, without me even forcing it. Let it be a silent testimony that there is a way to live unhurried, unafraid, even in a world like ours. If I forget, if I lose my footing, if I find myself spiraling, bring me back gently. Remind me that beginning again is not failure. It's faith. It's the act of trusting that you haven't moved, that your welcome hasn't run out, that I am never too late to return. This is the miracle of mornings. With you, no matter how I wake up, I can always start over. No matter how the day unfolds, I can always pause and begin again. Because peace is not a reward I earn. It's a gift I receive. And gifts can be received again and again. So now, as the house begins to stir, as the sounds of the day gather outside my window, I rise from this prayer not with a shield, but with a center. Not with a plan, but with a presence. Not with a promise of perfection, but with a promise of companionship. I don't know what will happen in the next hour, but I know this. I'm not stepping into it alone. I'm stepping into it with you, the one who was my peace before the day began and will be my peace when the day is done. And that is enough. It's enough for this moment. It's enough for the next. It's enough for whatever is coming. I breathe in deeply, feeling the steadiness you've sewn into my chest. I exhale slowly, releasing my grasp on the outcomes. And with that, I rise, still held, still loved, still yours, carrying the quiet of this prayer like a hidden well I can draw from again and again as the day unfolds. God, the world is now awake all around me. Doors opening, traffic humming, messages appearing on screens, voices calling each other from room to room. The day has begun in full, and yet here I am, still holding this space with you before I fully step into it. It feels like standing on a shoreline while the tide rises, knowing that once I step forward the water will reach me, but wanting to let your calm soak deeper into me before I move. I don't want this quiet to evaporate as soon as I leave the chair. I want it to travel with me like a scent on my clothes, like light on my skin, like a heartbeat that doesn't change even when my steps quicken. I think of how so many mornings I've woken up already clenched, already braced, already halfway through a fight that hasn't begun. And in this prayer, you are unlearning me. You are loosening the reflex. You are teaching me that my worth is not tied to how quickly I respond, how much I produce, how perfectly I manage. You are reminding me that I am not a problem to solve, but a person to love, even by myself, especially by you. And as that truth seeps in, my shoulders fall, my breathing deepens, and I start to see the day not as an enemy, but as a place where your presence will meet me again and again. I'm asking for courage, God. Not the loud kind, not the kind that roars, but the quiet courage to live today at the base of my soul. The courage to pause before I answer. The courage to breathe before I react. The courage to choose presence over performance, connection over control. This isn't about being slow for the sake of slowness. It's about being rooted enough to move from a steady center. It's about living as if I truly believe you are here, in the hallway, in the kitchen, in the inbox, in the hard conversation, in the small kindness I extend. Teach me to look for you in all of it, so that peace doesn't stay trapped in these early minutes, but becomes the undercurrent of my whole day. Let me carry this prayer like a hidden room inside me. When the noise rises, let me slip back into it even with my eyes open, even in mid-sentence, even in the middle of a crowd. A breath can be a doorway. A pause can be a prayer. A moment of noticing can be a return. Help me to remember that. Help me to practice it. Help me to forgive myself when I forget. You're not disappointed by my weakness. You're delighted when I return. That alone is enough to ease the pressure I put on myself. And as I go now into the movement of the morning, let your peace show itself in small ways, in the softness of my voice, in the patience of my listening, in the steadiness of my steps. Let it ripple outward to the people I meet, even if they never know its source. Let it be a quiet invitation for them to slow, to breathe, to remember they are loved too. Let my life today be a living echo of this moment, not because I'm disciplined, but because I'm held. I rise now with that awareness, not leaving you behind, but walking with you, not leaving this peace behind, but embodying it, not leaving this prayer behind, but living it, one breath at a time, one conversation at a time, one choice at a time. And when the day ends, whether it was smooth or messy, I will return here again, knowing you will be waiting, knowing peace will be waiting, knowing I never have to earn my way back, because you are not just my peace before the day begins. You are my peace in the middle, my peace at the end, my peace always. And for that, right now with open hands and a steadying breath, I whisper thank you and step into what comes next. God, the morning has now fully arrived. The streets outside are alive, the rooms around me are awake, and yet inside there is a stillness that has been built like a small sanctuary in these past minutes. This is the last stretch before I step completely into the flow of the day. And I want this stretch to be more than just a closing prayer. I want it to be a sealing. Everything I've whispered, everything I've exhaled, everything I've laid down here, let it soak deep and stay. Let it become a rhythm, not a memory. Let it be the foundation under my feet as I walk out the door, the inner room I can return to at any moment. This is what I'm asking for, as this morning prayer draws to its last words, that peace won't just visit, but dwell. I can feel how this time with you has changed me, even in the small ways. My breathing has slowed, my jaw has softened, my thoughts have shifted from frantic to focused. Nothing outside me has changed yet, but inside something is settling. It's like a stream under a frozen field, unseen but alive, moving, steady. That is what I will carry. I don't expect a perfect day. I don't even expect a calm day, but I expect that this undercurrent of your presence will be with me, and because of that, I can walk into what's ahead without bracing, without pretending, without apologizing for being human, with open hands instead of clenched fists, with quiet eyes instead of darting glances, with a heart ready to receive instead of defend. This is the miracle I've tasted in these moments. Peace is not earned, it's received. It's not manufactured, it's remembered. It's not held by my strength, it holds me. And as I rise from this prayer, I rise into that truth. My worth is not in my productivity. My belonging is not in my performance. My identity is not in how well I hold it together. My identity is in being loved, in being known, in being yours. And because of that, my first steps today can be steady even if the ground ahead feels shifting. They can be gentle even if the world is harsh. They can be rooted even if the day is unpredictable. That is the kind of peace you give, not a fragile mood, but a living presence. Help me to walk with that presence as my center. Help me to bring it into the smallest spaces, the kitchen, the bus, the office, the checkout line, the quiet moment before a meeting starts. Let each of those be a doorway back into this stillness. Let each of them be a chance to remember you're here. Let each of them be an opportunity to breathe again. And when night comes, whether I have succeeded or stumbled, whether I have stayed calm or fallen apart, let me return to you with the same openness I brought this morning. You will still be here. You will still be enough. You will still be my peace. So now I stand at the threshold of the day, With my heart unclenched, I draw one more deep breath, not to armor myself, but to fill myself with what I've already received. I whisper a final thank you, not because everything is easy, but because I am not alone. And then I step forward, not out of the prayer, but carrying it with me, not leaving your presence, but walking inside it, not hoping for peace, but moving in it. This is how I begin. This is how I want to live.